Hello YouTube, it is SelfieBur9000, or Selphoenix, or whatever you would choose to call me. And I would like to take a little bit of time to talk about YouTube's new age verification policy that is going to be rolled out in the United States on August 13th and has already rolled out in certain places of the world, including the UK. A quick summary, this policy that's being instituted is going to require that users of YouTube upload a government ID or a credit card in order to verify that they are of the legal age to use YouTube if the site suspects the user of being underage. Now, what do I mean by if the site suspects the user? What I mean is that YouTube is going to be implementing AI models which basically track what the users are watching, and if they are taking in content that it associates with children or underage viewers, then it's going to say you can't use the site anymore, you're going to have a limited experience unless you upload this information. Now, pretty much everyone is up in arms about this policy, myself included. I think that this policy is a huge breach of privacy and a huge security risk. We've pretty much all grown up being told don't show personal documents, financial information, whatever, to people who don't need it. And now we are being asked, or may be asked, by YouTube to provide this very sensitive information just to use the website. I don't think that age verification in some capacity is inherently evil. I think there are merits to it, but I do think that this particular method of age verification is just completely the wrong way to do it. It's a huge instance of overstepping one's boundaries on YouTube. Now, this may affect your experience viewing my channel, and it may affect my experience using my channel and uploading to it. The reason why I am afraid of this happening is because, most of the things that I do just deal with logos, which aren't necessarily associated with children or underage content. But I do also make edits of content from video games, content from cartoons and TV shows and things like that. And I do worry that the content that I make is sort of like associated by the AI with other things related to like kid-free content. Which makes me worried that if people are viewing my content, then they may be detected as children and won't be able to use the website anymore unless they upload these documents. And if I'm detected as being a child, then I could have limited access to my channel as well. So I do expect that there's going to be some pretty drastic changes to my YouTube channel pretty soon. I am expecting that there's going to be a drop in viewers, a drop in subscribers. I am expecting that people may not be able to see all my videos, may not be able to see any of my videos. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, because I know YouTube has implemented policies in the past that we were all afraid would seriously hinder our experience and kind of ended up being nothing burgers. But, I still want to prepare for the worst, especially because this is YouTube we're talking about. This is not the first policy that YouTube has implemented that has been detrimental to the viewer experience. YouTube implementing a policy that enables them to put ads on any video they want, whether or not the creator has chosen to monetize them. That was a change that I disliked very strongly, especially because most of my videos are very short. So having to, watch a minute-long ad to see a 10-second long video is kind of a bummer. And YouTube also sort of relentlessly cracks down on real or perceived copyright violations, which is really bad for logo editors because, we edit external content. We put an original spin on it, fair use and all that, but the AI bots don't really care about fair use. It seems the copyright policy is sort of punish first and ask questions later. So all in all, this change with the ID policy is really bad in a vacuum, but it's also kind of just one more extremely bad decision by YouTube that is making it even more of a hostile environment for its creators. And I am truly not inclined to continue to support a platform that's this mean to its viewers. Now, that sounds really bad, so let me take a minute to tell you I'm not saying I'm going to be quitting my video making. I'm not going to cease operations, but I am really concerned about staying on the YouTube platform specifically. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that YouTube has already been criticized heavily for very predatory ads that if an ordinary user were to upload them as videos, they would probably be in trouble. So I sort of feel like I'm in a bit of a moral quandary because there's no real major competitor to YouTube. I mean, YouTube is the video sharing website. And when I make my content, I want as many people to see it as possible because I do it for, educational reasons. I want people to learn from it. I want people to have fun with it. But I also feel that just by being on YouTube and uploading videos to YouTube, I'm sort of inviting people to use a hostile and predatory platform with all these nasty ads and all these nasty copyright policies, and now with this ad verification thing, or ID verification thing. I don't really want my viewers to be in such a bad environment when they're watching my content. So what I am doing moving forward is, just to get me started, I've made an account for myself on Vimeo. Vimeo is a YouTube competitor. It's not really much of a competitor. It's a very small name compared to YouTube. But one thing that I do like about Vimeo is that it does not play ads natively. I don't mean it doesn't play ads if you use an ad blocker. I mean it doesn't play ads on purpose. So I grabbed an account there that I have as a sort of backup just in case catastrophe happens. I'm literally expecting anything to happen to my channel between now and when the policy is implemented, or more particularly after the policy is implemented. Maybe there's not going to be any major changes. Maybe I'll be prevented from uploading certain things or commenting certain things. Maybe my channel is going to be locked out or deleted, which is a fear I've already had for a long time because of the whole copyright thing. One of the major prolific logo editors, Joey Ganoodle, I recently learned that his channel got deleted, and it's a real thing that can happen to anyone who views my channel and does the same kind of thing I do, regardless of this whole ID thing. So I have this account just in case something bad happens here. And moving forward, you guys know that I still have to celebrate my 15th anniversary, which I'm pretty mad at myself for delaying that now. I mean, I had no choice, given my academic situation. But now I'm going to be celebrating my 15th anniversary while the website that has fueled my channel for so long is basically falling apart. It's going to be a very melancholy experience, to say the least. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to upload the videos in my 15th anniversary celebration to both YouTube and Vimeo. It's going to be a tall order to have a celebration ready in a timely fashion, given I am still an academic. I'm trying to get this celebration done before August 13th because the majority of my viewers are in the United States, and I don't know if they're going to be able to see my content after the 13th. I don't know how much of a celebration I'll be able to have before this date, but I do think I will be able to have at least a new logo, because I am working on my new logo. I'm pretty proud of it. And starting with that celebration, I will upload videos concurrently to my channel here on YouTube and to my channel on Vimeo, and I will continue to do that afterwards. I will basically kind of test the waters using both of these platforms at the same time, and I will decide which platform I kind of end up settling on based on how the tides turn with YouTube's policies. And if I find out that Vimeo doesn't really serve my needs, then I may try another platform as well. But based on the options that I've looked at, it seems like it's the best one. Now, I also want to talk about what you can do in the face of this. It is pretty easy to feel helpless in the face of these major changes. I don't think YouTube has ever been friendly to small creators, at least for a long time now. And policies like this basically seem targeted towards us. Before, with copyright, YouTube became a pretty bad place for logo editors because we use external content for things. Now, with ID verification, it's becoming a bad place to be a viewer in general, and especially an underage viewer. I do know a lot of people who view my channel are young, and I definitely do not want anyone who is underage to be revealing potentially personal information to YouTube in order to keep interacting with my channel or in order to keep interacting with the site as a whole. So I want to preface everything by saying I am expecting that a lot of people are not going to be interacting with my channel anymore for whatever reason, because my hope is that people will be prioritizing their safety and the safety of their personal information over anything else. So don't worry about, being a loyal viewer. Don't worry about staying engaged with comments and things like that if it would mean it would put your privacy at risk. Do whatever you need to do to stay safe. And if you feel like you can no longer interact with my YouTube channel or really anything on YouTube for your privacy's sake, or if you just don't feel like using the internet is fun and you want to take a break, I will not be offended, okay? I'm not trying to drive people away from my channel by saying this. Obviously, I hope that these policies don't impact you and that you can keep viewing my channel. But I want to tell you right now that if it comes to a choice between maintaining the sanctity of your personal information and sticking around my channel, please do the safe thing and maintain the sanctity of your personal information. Please make sure that you have a parent guiding your internet usage if you are genuinely underaged, because you don't want to fall for anything that poses as YouTube, asking for your personal information and giving it away to a nefarious party. I mean, you could argue that YouTube, legitimate YouTube doing this is also a nefarious party, and, I frankly kind of agree with that. But definitely make sure that you have either a parent or just a caretaker that you trust, making sure that you are not giving away this information to anyone who shouldn't have it. Don't do anything hasty. Think critically. I already mentioned take a break. Don't give your information away in any form as well. I don't just mean don't submit your ID and credit card information to YouTube if you don't have to. I mean, obviously don't do that, but I also mean don't put things like your age and where you live in comments or in your videos or things like that. Because YouTube is basically now scanning everything that we watch with AI bots, and the personal information that they want can come from anywhere, not just from the legal documents that you upload to them. I'm not terribly worried about myself because I am a fully grown adult. I am 28 years old, and my information is already out there, so I don't think there's any going back from that. Is that grammatically correct? There's any going back from that. But if that's not the case for you, then don't start. Keep these things private and, remember also that the internet is not your life. So if you find that things are being taken away from you because you are not complying with these draconian policies that are being implemented, you can do other things. The phrase touch grass is thrown around quite a bit, but I think now is the time that a lot of us are going to start touching grass, because pretty soon the internet is going to be really stressful and probably not very fun. And I want logo editing in general, whether that's watching logo editing or making logo editing content, to be fun for everyone. Did I cover all the bases? I talked about the policy. I talked about how it might affect me, my backup plan. I talked about things that you can do. The long and short of it is things on my channel are going to be very different because I'm going to be figuring out how to navigate this change. I guess I'll finish off by saying, if you don't hear as much from me, I don't want people to take offense to that. I don't want people to see me uploading videos less often or commenting less often, and take it as me sort of turning my back on the community. I am going to be just having to do a lot of different things to figure out how to navigate these changes to the internet. I am going to have to figure out how to cultivate a channel that has as big of a reach as it did before, possibly without YouTube, hopefully with YouTube, if they don't prevent me from using it. But it's going to be a lot of hard work for me on my side, and if you don't hear from me as much, it's because I'm still figuring things out. So I hope you understand, and I just hope that moving forward, you look out for yourself. You matter, and you don't have to put yourself in a vulnerable position just to interact with a website that serves up videos. I mean, there are other things we can do to share these things that we do. There are other ways to cultivate this community and cultivate this hobby without doing that. And I know at the end of the day, we're going to figure out what to do. So, to reiterate, for the near future, when I do my 15th anniversary celebration, which at the very least I hope to begin by August 13th. Ideally, I'll finish it by August 13th. I'm going to start uploading videos concurrently on my YouTube account here and on the Vimeo channel, which I will link in the description. I also may look into other kind of social media platforms to help increase the reach of my content on Vimeo. I may look at other video sharing platforms. So if I do make drastic changes to how I publish videos, I'll try to let you guys know as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm going to keep using YouTube until I either get sick of it or they prevent me from using it. And I'm going to keep using Vimeo in the future because I expect that to be hopefully not the main video sharing platform, because I want to keep using YouTube if it doesn't become an awful place, but it may end up being my main video sharing platform in the future. I'm sorry, I wish this could have been better news, but I just want people to know that I'm trying my best. I hope you're trying your best as well, and don't worry about me. I do the things that I do for fun. I like to teach people, but ultimately it's for my enjoyment, and I'm really expecting anything. It could be that nothing changes. It could be that I stop getting new subscribers. It could be that I lose subscribers. I'm prepared. I'm prepared because I know that YouTube is a hostile place that does not like creators like myself who are kind of small and, don't bring in the big advertising money. So just focus on keeping yourself safe and having a good time with the internet as much as you can. And I think that's it. So my 15th anniversary celebration, it's going to be a very strange occasion because I'll be trying to celebrate something happy in the wake of something pretty sad coming up over the horizon. But it still is the case that having my YouTube channel for 15 years, despite all of this craziness that YouTube has already thrown at us and the craziness that it's going to throw at us pretty soon, that is something to celebrate. And, don't be afraid to party like it's 1999. That's it for me. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. And I think that's it. We'll figure this out. Have a good day.